Did you give us your permission to record?
Always, because I
Okay,
don't know
good.
why that comes up. Can I get rid of this?
I don't know. You'd think
I
because you're in it every stinking time, you wouldn't have to do it every stinking time.
by attending this meeting, you consent to being recorded.
And by listening to this podcast, you consent to being talked to about stuff that we're 100% experts about. Thank you for
Definitely.
listening to another episode of Hoosier Nerds Podcast, or tuning in, I should say. You got Chris and Chris,
That's us.
us. Mikey and Tim might join later. Tim's been a kind of a no-show lately, but he might be
He
busy. He
was
might
he
be
was
hiding
chatting
his
the
face.
overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he might be hiding his face. Good old Cowboys fan over
it's
there.
Cowboys. Yeah, typical. Don't show up in the postseason.
Don't show up when it really matters. Only garbage time.
Right.
Speaking of football, let's start. What do you want to start? What game do you want to start with?
Well,
Because we're
who was
experts.
who was it? It was Detroit and Tampa. That was actually a
That
good
was a
game.
really good. Honestly, every game was pretty good this weekend.
I didn't see a lot of it. I missed most
It
of it. I
was a
was out and
really good
about.
game. It was pretty back and forth. It was pretty tight. It was a pretty good defensive game, while the Buffalo and Chiefs game was a pretty good offensive game.
That's the game I question. That's the script game I'm questioning.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, like when it started getting close, it started calls started getting a little iffy.
Because like so the wide open pass in the end zone that he threw short for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, you
He's here.
I,
I think Mikey's
can
about to
we
get punched.
can we edit that out?
I might have to.
It sounded like a patient calling in.
You talking about me?
No,
Yeah.
not you.
Oh,
It was just your background.
oh, I was yeah, the girls were in here, and I was pressing the speaker button, so I thought it was gonna play through my phone, but that was the wrong button. I needed to press. Yeah.
Did you get your computer working?
No, I have to get a new hard drive.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
How much is that?
like $60, 60, $80, depends on what size I want.
Oh, that's not horrible.
I would
Can you
almost
change
say
it yourself?
it's almost time just to rebuild a new computer.
Well, yeah, and then yeah, I mean the hard part would be getting Windows again. Like, I don't. That's the expensive part, I assume.
Yeah, to buy Windows again, it's like the basic version's like $100. They like rip you for Windows, and it's retarded.
Ah,
Excuse
I
my
know
language, but
Kyle gave it to me last time, and I don't know if I kept that flash drive or not.
I might have a flash drive laying around here somewhere with it on here, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I used to.
I should have kept it, but I don't forget what it looks like and where it would be, so it's
Yeah.
lost. I assume.
well, we were discussing football, Mikey.
We were starting with the
Oh.
Lions and
We
Tampa.
started with the Lions in Tampa and how good that game was, and that was kind of a predictor. We kind of knew Detroit was going to win that game. But
Yeah.
Well,
and who was
let's be honest. Baker was doing pretty good until his first interception was a little, but then that second interception, of course, sealed it. But
who was it? San Francisco and who they beat?
who did they play?
Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
That was a good game too, actually.
Freaking Green Bay has another quarterback, of course.
Yeah, they do. They should be proud. That was actually that was pretty decent, honestly.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks, like that. At least that game ended the way it did because that's just a dumb rookie mistake at the end. That interception, throwing
Yeah,
his body, and
I agree with that. Yeah, that was
He'll
a
do
bad.
better. He'll
He'll
learn.
get better. That takes time. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Texans Ravens. That was no surprise. That was kind of a lackluster of them all. But let's get
That
to
game was pretty good. That game was good at the first half, and
it
then
was awful.
It was
Yeah,
10-10.
it
That
was-
was a good game.
Yeah,
We thought we had a game going.
That.
But then, Lamar showed why he's the MVP.
But the Bills Chiefs game, so I've questioned because so he throws that pass, he throws that pass in the end zone and it comes short by like 10 yards, right? So they showed the replay. They only showed it once, and Romo says he has his arm hit as he's throwing, but when they showed the replay, his arm wasn't hit. It was full extension.
We already know that it's going to be San Francisco and San Fran and the Ravens by the colors.
Did you see McAfee? McAfee
No.
even talked about it. Yeah, the colors of the logo are red and purple.
Oh yeah, and some local TV show had a release a graphic early.
Yes, I saw the graphic. I actually photoed it. Hang on, where's that? It's not. That's my. That's not it. And then
It's like welcome back or tune in to the Baltimore and 49ers.
Yeah,
like that.
No, it's Reba McEntire. Here it is. Reba McEntire, Usher, and Post Malone are slated to perform at San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. And I took this was on January 19th that they said this. So
I've never been a big proponent of that it's rigged, Yeah, they might, or I should say scripted. Now rigged, that's a different story. I think it's rigged. I've thought that since, the Colts and the Patriots.
There's the picture.
But
that's the tweet. The tweet was 10:08.
The refs always seem to make a certain call, a certain bad call, and then all of a sudden it kind of just deflates the other team.
Dude, did you see the Kansas City? I thought there was a blatant face masking going on there. I'm just. Do you think there's so much money involved with gambling that now,
as soon as they got in bed with gambling,
is it as scripted as wrestling?
I don't think it's as scripted as wrestling. I think it's very scripted, as in there's like a 90% chance who's gonna win, unless
that field goal at the end looked like I kicked it. Like he didn't
feel bad
doink
for him
it.
Though.
Like he didn't just doink it. Like he freaking missed it by like a mile.
Yeah, that was somebody at his level should not have missed that.
Exactly.
And before he went out there, they were like, "Oh, he's made 9 of his last 9 or something." Of course, as soon as they put up that graphic, I'm like, "Well, he's gonna miss this."
It just seems fishy.
Yeah.
For all the. Do they really want? I mean, I guess they get their teams that they want, which is Baltimore and San Francisco, and then they get all those silly ass Swifties to watch football because they show her every time there's a touchdown or a catch.
Or anytime there's anything with the going on in the game, they show her. It wasn't even anything that had to do with her, with Kelsey, and they showed her.
I don't understand why she jumps around like a maniac every time he catches a pass.
Because it's her man.
The fans don't even do that. They're like, there we go, first down. That's what I'm talking about. Might get a fist pump out of it.
It's a player going for a record.
But she jumps around like he just won the Super Bowl with this game-winning catch every time he catches the football. It could be a 3-yard outplay, and she's gonna jump around like an idiot. Is that even real? I mean, seriously.
I saw. So I'm gonna bring this up now. I saw the worst take ever. I posted it in the group chat that if we prefer seeing Kelsey jump around with his shirt off, why are we getting mad about we must hate women because we don't want to see her jump around and be excited for her man. I'm like, no, I'm just tired of seeing her after every single play. I don't hate women. I hate seeing her every 20 seconds.
I mean, they didn't show Eminem every single play, did they?
No.
And,
No, they didn't.
Well, there you go.
Is Eminem out stadium? World Tour and
Yes, it's Eminem.
No, it's just Eminem.
No.
He doesn't have anything to promote. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's currently not as big as Taylor Swift is.
But he's an actual fan of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift isn't
A fan of the Lions? Actually, no.
No.
She's from Pennsylvania. She's been seen she's been known in the past to be a Steelers fan. Honestly,
I said KC.
she's not. She's
No.
not a. She's a fan this year of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Just wait till they break up.
Right. Wait till they break up, and then she dates some other football player, and then she'll be like a fan of the Cleveland Browns or something.
No, I'm just sick and tired. We said at the beginning, I'm happy that it's bringing in fans. I'm just sick and tired of seeing her face every 20 seconds.
I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Kelly Clarkson. I don't care if it's Avril Lavigne. I don't care what
If it's Ozzy
star is
Osbourne.
dating what football player. I don't want to see them jumping around every time they make a catch. And that could be anybody. That's not why I watch football. Hearing the fans react is the reason I watch it. That's part of it. You know what I mean?
I'd rather see, Joe Schmo high-fiving everybody around him in the nosebleeds. Because that's me. I'm Joe Schmo up in the nosebleeds, high-fiving.
Yeah, I want to see the guy with his shirt off
I want to see Kelsey.
No. I want to see the guy with his shirt off at the very top row of the stadium.
The Buffalo Bills fan, the actual Bills Mafia fan up there.
Yes, that's who I want to see. I don't need celebrities to be pushed on me.
Do you guys, a little off topic, but do you guys think, in my head, this is how it's gone. So we lost, Brady, Manning, and all them. I feel like Mahomes is the new Brady. Allen is the new Manning, and what's his face in Lamar. I feel like Lamar is the new Roethlisberger or Phillips. Like those are the three new guys, and it's the new rivalry that we're gonna have to see every single playoffs
The
for the next
Chiefs and the Bills.
15 years. Yeah, Chiefs, Bills, then maybe the and then the Ravens, and then whoever else maybe comes in once or twice.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, if from all that I hear indicated that Harbaugh's signing with the Chargers.
Everything I've heard on sports talk radio, he absolutely, and when I say absolutely, I mean he absolutely loves their quarterback. Yeah.
I mean, you've got a Raider mentality coach back in Las Vegas. If he signs with them, I mean, there's an awful lot to play in there for Mahomes to keep doing what he's doing. And he very well could. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying I think there's going to be a little bit more competition.
Yeah. No, and if the Colts are if what's his face is as good for the Colts as we want him to be.
He's not. But no, I'm saying, just kidding. I'm just stirring the pot.
You're always stirring some pot.
Well, from what we've seen in 5 games, there's definitely a lot to look forward to, I think.
Yeah. I have hope. I just know that he got hurt a lot. So I am not holding my breath.
Yeah, he could use a little bit more. He needs a guy, you know what I mean? A guy to just protect him.
Oh, you mean our offensive line is supposed to?
Yeah.
But all the times that I heard, they were kind of just normal tackles. And I remember watching Chris Ballard's end of the season press conference where he kind of spoke on that a bit, where when that I forget what team we were playing. I think it might have been the Jaguars, where he ran it in for a touchdown, and then right at the goal line, he kind of let off the gas a little bit and just relaxed a little too much, and that's when he got plowed. and kind of I think that's when his concussion happened.
I think so too.
And that's like so if you would have just been like just kind of kept focused and tensed up maybe or just ran all the way through, then he
He's
wouldn't
got to
have
learn
had
how to get hit.
yeah.
I
That's
think he needs to put some muscle on, some weight.
he's already jocked.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like I don't know.
Do you think he's more RG3 than he is?
Yeah, he needs more
Than he
weight.
is
Like
Lamar
he
Jackson.
needs to put more like Lamar Jackson on. Granted, I know he's already jacked, but it's like I think he needs a little more.
I guess this is kind of another thing. Like, well, I guess with keeping injury out of it, I don't know. Maybe I mean he can take some jiu-jitsu classes. I forget who did that. Who did that? It was a quarterback who did that.
Oh,
but
I know what you're saying. I remember that because I was like, what?
hold on. Okay. Um. But I was listening to another podcast with Jake Johnson who was talking about training with Tom Cruise. And he was like, they basically train really hard, like work out and stuff, so they can do these stunts. And they said that they get hurt possibly, but not get like injured. Like
Yeah, there's a difference between getting hurt and
but,
then being
Right,
out.
exactly. I understand what you're saying. Yes.
So yeah, I guess to some point maybe he can work out and to help protect himself a little bit, but there's only so much you can do. I mean, a lot of those were just normal plays that just seemed was uncanny and something happened.
I have hope for the Colts, but I'm worried Pittman's leaving because he said he wanted to test out the market.
Nobody got signed him.
He is I think last year he showed he could be a receiver one.
Well, he had to be receiver one and best of church.
You're not wrong
These
there.
Legends are the only ones that had was it multiple 100-catch seasons or back-to-back 100-catch seasons or maybe the only Colts that had 100-catch seasons or something.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Colts need a tight end.
They do need a tight end. You really need a tight end. You really do.
We haven't had a tight end since. I'm not going to even count Ebron. We haven't had a tight end because it was only 1 year.
What about? I mean, I like Mo. We got blocker tight ends.
We got blocker tight ends, but we need that. We need that Iowa tight end that can catch it too.
Yeah. I said I like Ogletree, but he's a big blocking tight end, and Mo is a big blocking tight end. And
who's the tight end that's in jail? He's a good block. He's a good offensive tight end.
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
There's a Colts tight end like the last game or two got arrested for domestic violence.
Oh, they didn't say what it was for, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Did he get arrested for domestic violence?
Yeah, it was a domestic violence charge. He's charged with domestic violence.
Oh, really?
Is it Walker?
Yeah, that's true.
Walker
They do need a tight end. You need a tight end to win it. I mean, George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
Even the Lions have a really good tight end.
Ooh, who just signed Zach Ertz?
Lions, because their tight end got hurt.
Yeah, there you go. Bam. See,
I
would love to see Detroit win. I really would.
I'd at least.
I don't think it's not in the script.
I know. I really wish they would win though.
I know. I think
there are people in the grandstands crying because they ain't been it this far since 30 years.
Did you see the guy in hospice colored his hair like the Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Oh my God! Yeah, this poor guy. I hope
he's on hospice, like holding on until.
Hopefully until the Super Bowl.
God, I think if they lose, they're gonna be like, well, we killed the guy.
I hope not. I hope that guy hangs up. Yeah, I mean, God, why does it have to be that way? Because Baltimore and San Francisco sell more jerseys,
Yeah,
or Kansas City? Is that what it comes down to? More fans?
more potential fans because they can bring in all the Swifties.
I don't think Kansas City's going to be Baltimore. Though.
I don't think so either.
They're going to have a
Mahomes
really
does
bad
not have a
game.
good record on the road in the playoffs. Actually, no, he's never
But
played.
I
That was his
did
first game on the road in the playoffs. Was
I
the
did
last
see a
one.
post in my writing group that the referee who helps out the opposing teams is refereeing this game, Kansas City game.
What do you mean?
He's known to be partial towards the visiting team.
Hmm.
That's what I heard. You know, there's all kinds of conspiracies. They would, if this conspiracy move would stop if they just didn't make it. You know,
So obvious sometimes.
so obvious. Yeah, right. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. I would rather see Detroit and Baltimore, though. I hate both teams. Not Baltimore or Detroit, but Baltimore.
Anybody but the Chiefs.
Yes, anybody but the Chiefs.
That's pretty much where I'm at. I don't care as long as it's not the Chiefs, and I don't want to be called a hater because I was a fan of the Chiefs until the last like year or two.
I hate the Chiefs since forever because they're in the same
Well,
division.
you
with the
have a
Raiders,
good
so.
excuse
I
because
know, right? Now this isn't new hatred for the Chiefs for me. This goes back years and years and years.
yeah, yours is built in. You have like it's in your blood.
Yes.
It's like my hatred of the Patriots.
Yes. We're shifting gears. Let's shift gears. Did you see the Oscar nominees were announced?
No, because I don't care about the Oscars.
Okay, so let's run through these real quick. We're just doing the important ones, right? Best Picture, American Fiction, never heard of it. Anatomy of a Fall, no. Barbie, really? The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, too long. Maestro, that's got Bradley Cooper. Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I haven't heard of 80% of these movies.
It's gonna be one of those that wins.
Yes. Best
One of the
Actress,
all.
Annette Bening in Nyad, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller in Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things. Best Actor, Bradley Cooper, Maestro, Coleman Domingo, and Rustin. Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers. That guy's good in everything he's in. Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. Supporting actress, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. She was good. Danielle Brooks, Color Purple. America Ferrera in
Isn't
Barbie.
Why is
Isn't
Robert Downey
why
Jr.
is
up for one?
Barbie so? I don't get the whole Barbie. That just doesn't seem like an Oscar movie to me. Nothing against it. I enjoyed it. It just doesn't seem like it belongs with these other movies. Jodie Foster and Divine Joy Randolph. Best Supporting Actor, Sterling K. Brown. De Niro, Robert Downey Jr. is up for Oppenheimer. That's a tough category. Best Supporting Actor. Yes, Sterling K. Brown, whoever that is. Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling, and Mark Ruffalo.
That's kind of a who's who of a list.
Now, here's the silly part that we talked about this already. Best Original Screenplay. That means original, right? Like I made it up. Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May, December, Past Lives. Best Adapted Screenplay, American Fiction, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest, and Barbie. Barbie should be an original, not adapted.
Because they know it will win. It could win in there.
There's 2 songs from the Barbie movie in Best Original Song, including I'm Just Ken.
That'll win.
I mean, you can't say anything. They nominated South Park for a Best Song. You know what I mean? And it should have won over that stupid Phil Collins song.
Blame
only reason
Canada. Blame
that-
Canada.
The only reason that stupid Phil Collins song was because it's from a Disney movie. That's the only reason. And then it sucked. Because Phil Collins. So I talked about that. Should we talk about the shift? There's a shift in the world of sports entertainment today.
Okay.
Starting in January of 2025, the WWE SmackDown, or no, not SmackDown, WWE Raw, and all their pay-per-views and everything is shifting to Netflix.
Like, is it gonna be live?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So does that mean they're going to get raunchier because they're on Netflix? They can get raunchy again, like the Attitude Era, or... I mean, I don't watch it, but I'm glad I have. I mean, I can watch like old matches or old Raws or anything because it's on NBC Peacock. But Netflix, I'm not going to switch to Netflix.
You know what that means? I mean, they tested out their live stream stuff before, and it's not always been the best. So I guess they have a little bit to fix that. But what it means is the rates are going to go up next year.
If it goes up again, I'm dropping it again. $750 is like right at my limit. I'm not going to buy it anymore.
Does this mean that is this the precursor to other sports just going strictly streaming?
Well, they did it with Peacock.
NBA, NHL. No, I mean Raw is still on network TV.
I mean, they put Peacock. Peacock has that entire weekend to themselves. Or that entire Saturday.
For what?
You can only watch the football games on Peacock.
No, you can only watch one football game on Peacock.
They tested it out, though.
It was, well, yeah. But does this mean with Raw, with wrestling going straight to that? That was a network staple for 30 years now, over 30 years. Does that mean that we're going to start seeing the whole NFL season on streaming services? I mean, baseball's almost that way. You're going to have 6 different streaming services to watch your favorite team.
I mean, the only way you can watch,
if they don't black it out.
The only way you can watch the Yankees sometimes is on.
Yeah, but you have to have 6 different streaming services if you're a Yankees fan.
You might as well just get cable.
That's what I said. I know this is where the money's at for them all, but to me, all these sports are going to go straight to streaming services. They're all going to raise their prices because of everybody, the NFL's on this streaming service. They already had the Sunday ticket.
They're going to be like, oh shit, we got the NFL. Okay, we're going to jump our prices.
$20 a month.
$20 a month, yeah.
I mean, that was I think that was the whole point originally of quote unquote cutting the cord, wasn't it? Save money and and that's what people complain about. Why do I want Peacock to watch one football game? I don't watch. What if they don't watch racing or motocross or soccer?
Any of the shows on there.
Yeah, I agree. It's getting dangerous. Now they're starting to control. They'll start to control everything that you watch more than they do now.
Well, it's like if you buy. I was just thinking. I don't know why I was thinking this, but it's like if you buy things digital, why buy? All they have to do is turn it off, and you can never watch it again, even if you own it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I mean, iTunes does that.
That means I can pirate stuff because I don't own it, so I'm just going to pirate it.
Oh, right. I don't know. I think it's starting to set a dangerous precedence with sports, and we have to pay for every single thing that we watch now.
You said a bad thing online. We're going to cut your sports package.
I mean, they could do. I mean, you sure? Why not? We don't agree with your views, with your how you view life. So you're banned from using
China. It's social credit score in China. They do it in there. You say something bad about the government, well, there goes your ability to buy gasoline for a month until you raise your social credit score.
Jeez, that's insane.
Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh! In China, it's called social credit score. So if you get low enough social credit score, when you go near people, it'll tell them that you have a low social credit score, and then like you can't buy gas, you can't buy you can only buy so much groceries. If your
That's dangerous.
credit score gets low enough, they send you to jail.
Haven't people like watched the Terminator and read 19 or at least watched the movie 1984 or listened to the audiobook to know? Like, quit making this stuff.
Who keeps track of that?
The government. All their phones have an app.
Oh my gosh!
You have to. It's like any other like Apple app. They have to have it on their phone.
We have it here. It's just not as strict. FBI and CIA watches everybody.
I mean, so does you look up a name or take a picture of them, or that's just wild.
Okay, so when I've said this before, did you ever see that movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
When he was doing research for the film, he was doing some research with some FBI agents, and they told him that they could track any phone call he's ever made, and they said prove it. He said prove it, and they pulled up this random cell phone call he made on a certain day to just somebody. And that was how long was that movie made? 10 years ago or more?
Yeah. Filmed in Indiana.
They can do it here. You couldn't believe it. I think it's an IMDb fact, is what it is. I think that's where it's at. If you look at Eagle Eye on IMDb, and it's an Eagle Eye fact that
that's a good movie.
They pulled up an old phone call. That is a good movie. Like these people making the robots. Did you see that? Didn't I send you that picture, that video with the robot that learned and said it figured out it was eventually be smarter than a human? And like, quit building this stuff. The Terminator's 40 years old, and they predicted this stuff 40 years ago.
I'm gonna say it now for the record. I bow down to our robot overlords.
You chicken. You're like freaking France, right? Just open the door.
You don't want baguette? Okay, we serve Wiener Schnitzel.
What a wiener, I swear. Good God.
So,
all right.
In other news, go ahead, Mikey.
I want to talk about one of the pillars of nerddom.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
What about it?
Greatest trilogy of all time. I said it.
I am definitely leaning towards that right now. So it being 2 decades old, at least, is really impressive for what they've done, theatrical wise, in filming it and everything. That's what I noticed, and I haven't seen it in probably 2 decades. So I am definitely leaning towards that way.
Did you have you rewatched all of it, or are you kind of working your way through it?
I am on the third one, Return of the King. I'm probably got about an hour left.
Ooh, it's getting good.
Like they're just like it was just about well, maybe about 30 minutes left because I'll go into it. But right where I ended it was the Rohan was riding. It was basically Gondor, but getting ready to ride out, or Rohan or something like that. It was about to be a big war on Gondor. Like they're already sieging and stuff, so that and but yeah, the reason why I only have maybe like 30 minutes left is because was it Saturday night when I was watching it, it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, all right, let's start it up, and got myself a drink, and I was like, all right, and about 20 minutes in, I fell asleep, and then woke up. Woke up with like 30 minutes left, and I ended up watching it all. But so um, there's like me and since it's been so long since I watched it, I've matured. I've um gathered a lot of resources about it, like Ring of Power wise, Hobbit wise. Like from what I've gathered from all that, it's definitely like more intriguing to me. Like I used to like when people are like, "Oh, I'm such a fan of Lord of the Rings," and they're such a big fan of it, and they get tattoos of it, and I'm just like, I don't know why. Like it's kind of like a boring movie to me, and it's like it always like I always thought of like Randall and Clerks 2. So like that was I guess that was my that was like always my thought almost like
It's
it
still
was,
my thought.
yeah. But like yeah, after watching it again and stuff, it's like I really appreciate like what they've done with it, and it's like it's really good movies, good set of movies.
Mm-hmm. I remember I think it was last week or the week before you were struggling. I think you said you were struggling to get through the first one.
It wasn't because it was a bad movie. I would say, I mean, it was slow paced, and they're just setting it up. But it was
Yeah,
just because I don't have a lot of time to just sit there and watch a movie. I
yeah.
just had to watch it in blocks whenever I could.
It's definitely not a sit down and watch it in blocks movie. You have to get through that movie.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in like a bad movie in a way that it's bad. I mean it in a way that is like slow and you just have to get to the next one.
Yeah, I'm like I. There's only like key points like I really like remember about like all the movies. Of course, it's Frodo getting stung by a spider. The King of Gondor, he's on fire and falls off the build. Like he falls off the front of
He's not the king. He's
the.
the protector. Come on.
He's the he. What is he? What do they call it? What did Gandalf call it?
I think protector or guardian or
No, it starts with
something.
S. Um, does it start with
Um,
S?
yeah, I can't think of what he was called. His official title.
A stand-in. Basically, it's just a stand-in. I mean,
Yeah, until the king
uh,
returns.
yeah,
Hey, look, it's the name of the
that
movie.
and yeah. But oh, and then there's some other things, but like the one thing I kind of like really also caught that I really like was like I'm starting to feel like really sorry for Sam because
Yeah, Sam
Gollum was
gets
kinda,
the short end of the stick the
yeah,
entire time.
yeah, like Sam, well, Golem or Smeagol, he kind of turned Frodo against Sam, and then Sam's just trying to do everything he can for him, and it's like it almost broke my heart the way he was like, "Don't like." Frodo's like, fuck off, man. Like I don't need you anymore. There's nothing more you can do." And Sam's like, "What? Like I've got all this way with you, like bitch." So, like I thought that was really cool, like just seeing that, because I like when I was younger, a lot of this stuff it's like I never could grasp my like little tiny brain around it, and never like became like important to me, I guess. And it's like now it's like, wow, I don't know, it's like epiphany. It's like I almost feel like I'm watching these movies for the first time
That
again. It's been that long.
that's how I felt when I rewatched them. It was like the last time I'd actually sat down and watched through them all, I was like young. But like the
Uh-huh.
second time through, everything, or now that I'm older, everything just clicks.
Yeah. Yeah, like like you kind of understand like the motives behind some stuff and
Yeah.
the feelings and
And honestly, I know
yeah.
more about like the lore of it now
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So I get
Yeah.
what's happening.
Uh-huh. So um like and subscribe, and let me know if I should do the Hobbit movies. I don't know.
Yes, do the Hobbit movies. So there's a couple things I wanted to bring up. Hold on, let me get to my list. So have you? I know you've saw it, Mikey, but have you seen it, Chris? It's called Pal World, PALWORLD. So basically, it is a Pokemon riff. Lack of a better word, they just basically, it's Pokemon but more rated M for mature game. It's you capture the Pokemon, and instead of like them being your friends and stuff, they get right to the point. You put them in slave labor and like build your base and stuff, and like you give them guns. Like one of the pictures I saw was like they had like they look like Pikachu's sitting behind a wall with 50 cows defending a base. And the Pokemon like diehards are like, oh, you can't just rip Pokemon and do what you want, but it's like they're not. It's its own game. Pokemon needs competition. Pokemon hasn't done anything innovative in years. Like the last Pokemon game that I really enjoyed was Legends of Arceus, which was which was really fun. It was a roguelike game where it was like the beginnings of Pokemon. It was like the first Pokeball that was made. It was really fun.
Mm.
But no, it's already sold within the first week. It's already sold over 20 million copies. And for a game that's only on PC and Xbox and not from a major developer, that's pretty damn good.
No, I know. Yeah, like a lot of people were looking for that open world concept of that game.
Yeah, because that's what Pokemon needs. Pokemon has open world, but it's still like even the latest one is still on a rails. You still have to do this. You still have to go this way. You still have to do it this way. It's just this is just more open world, and it's crossplay. And I've heard that it plays really well on the Steam Deck, which the Steam Deck is the Steam version of the Switch. And a lot of people are hoping the game gets ported over to because the rumor is the Switch 2 is going to be announced this summer, or whatever the replacement for the Switch is going to be announced. So a lot of people I've seen have been hoping that it's on the Switch. No, but I just want to bring up the game because it's really fun. Go ahead.
That would be interesting though, because like Nintendo and Switch, they're like side by side with Pokemon. Like they've always been.
Yeah, you can't. Pokemon Nintendo is like Disney. They got lawyers and they got there's lawyers and then there's Disney lawyers. Well, Nintendo has Disney lawyers. You do anything that's similar to their product, they sue you.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, like with that, right, guys?
Yes.
Like, and that's just how Nintendo is. Then there was a guy doing it free of charge. He was porting over for Steam, like an official launch free. He was porting over every Nintendo 64 to like every like original Nintendo game to like the Game Boy Advanced era onto PC for free. And Nintendo shut him down and sued him, and apparently he might get jail time now.
Okay.
People, there's a group of fans that made their own Pokemon game. They didn't use any original Pokemon from the shows or the games. They made their own Pokemon, their own world. They just called it Pokemon Uranium, I think. They just used the name. It was like a love letter basically to Pokemon. They shut it down. Like they sued them They weren't even charging people money, but they sued them and had them shut it down. Like Nintendo is so protective of especially Pokemon that it is a surprise that this game got released because of how similar it is. And not even 4 days into the game being released, people already released a mod pack for Pokemon in the game. So you can the game looks like Pokemon now if you want to download the mod pack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I looked and I wasn't gonna buy the game because one, I'm saving up for Disney. And it's $20, and granted, $20 isn't that much, but when you're saving up for vacation, $20 is $20. And
Yeah.
I told him I would give him a shout out because he listens to the podcast. Simus, you've played with Simus, right, Mikey?
Yeah.
He bought me the game, so now I got to
Oh.
play it with him. So thank you, Simus. I told you I'd shout you out, or as you like me to call you, Daddy Simus.
He paid you for that.
He did pay me for that.
Kind of. He bought you a game.
Kind of. He bought me a game for that.
What do I have to buy you? Call me Daddy.
Put out a price and we'll find out.
$20 is $20, huh?
Exactly.
Hey, yeah, I mean, money talks. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Speaking of money talks, I've been making some good money with DoorDash. I've dashed 4 times and I've made about 100. Let me see exactly how much I've made in total. Now, I'm not going to be one of these people that DoorDash is full time because I don't think it's worth it. But I've made a little over $100 for 4 hours of work.
Not bad.
No,
You just gotta
How
make sure you.
how much you made in 4 hours of work?
so my paycheck, my first check is going to come through. I worked a total of 3 hours, and I'm getting a check of $69.83.
Is that taxes taken out, or you have to pay?
Yeah, that's taxes taken out.
Oh, you do have taxes taken out.
Yeah, and then
Well, that's awesome.
my time or my I only dashed this week yesterday, and I did it for an hour and a half, and I made $46.62.
There you go.
And
So do you get paid hourly, or is it just tips?
so they got 2 different ways. The main way is you get tips, and then you get a bit of the delivery fee. You know, have you both have used DoorDash, right?
No.
Mhm.
So for you,
Yes.
Mikey, they have the price of the food, which is already jacked up on DoorDash.
Yeah.
I compared it the companies put an extra $1 or something on it. Then you have the delivery fee, which might be $5, $6, $7. Then you have a pretty much a mandatory tip. If you don't tip, they're not going to take the delivery. I had somebody doing a $2 tip. I didn't pick it up. I said no.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah, that tip's got to be worth it.
So when you do it just by tips, you get paid part of the delivery fee and then the entire tip.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I do like that when it's busy. But when it's not busy, they don't offer it all the time, but when it's busy, they offer it hourly. It's hourly when you're working. So say you're sitting there and you're sitting there and you're sitting there and nothing comes through. Well, you're not getting paid out. You're not getting paid, of course. But so depending on the market, Richmond's $12, Kokomo's $14. Then depending on if it's busy or not, they might add an extra $2, $3 on that. But when it starts paying you is as soon as that order comes in, you start getting paid, $12 an hour until it's dropped off.
Yeah.
Which is nice. But the problem with that is it doesn't tell you they brought that in to promote people taking more orders. Because
you take more orders at a lower tip.
Yes, they don't tell you how much the tip is because they don't want you to make your decisions based on tip. They want you to make your decision on, hey, I'm getting paid whatever the tip is plus the $12 an hour to drive there.
I mean, I can see that. That makes sense to me. I would do that.
Yeah, and that I wish I would have done that yesterday because I took one tip. There was one I took it. I at the end I don't think I would have taken it, but it was a $10 tip, but it was a 11-mile drive, and it was my last one. I was like, oh, it won't take that long. But if I would have done the hourly, that was like a 15-minute drive. That would have been I think in the end more plus the tip on top of it already.
Right. I see what you're saying.
It's one of those things where it's like, do you think you're going to be busy or no, and which way do you want to take it? Like if I worked in Indianapolis, like what's her name, or Westfield, wherever your buddy does it, Chris?
Shelly and Josie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever they do it, I would do by tip. I wouldn't do hourly. Richmond, it's kind of iffy. Like I might go one or the other depending on the day. Like Friday, Saturday, I'm probably do by tip, but any other day I probably do hourly.
I gotcha.
The only
That
thing I
makes
need
sense.
to keep track of is like gas.
Yeah. Do they pay you in mileage or do you
No.
write off your mileage?
I don't know if you can write it off because you are an independent contractor.
If you're an independent contractor, then you can write off your gas.
Then probably can write it off. Granted, this is going to be next year's taxes, so
Right. But I would keep track of your miles.
yeah.
As soon as you start going, hit your odometer at 0.
Yeah,
And then-
I'm going to get myself a mile book too.
Yeah, I would do that definitely. No question.
No, I've been enjoying it. I know I've been keeping you up to date, Chris. Not trying to get you to do it, but I know you've
No,
been
I
like
want to do it. I gotta
looking
just,
for extra money ability somewhere.
I do need extra money, so I'm probably just gonna start doing it here.
And
That I don't have to take my battery out of my car every night.
Yeah. And honestly, like if you do it like 1 or 2 hours a night, that's depending on how busy you are, you might make $20-$40.
If I started at like 5, I'd be done by 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I agree. I think I'm gonna start doing it because I need extra money, big time.
And when I did it the one time in Kokomo, being a Spirit driver, I knew Kokomo like the back of my hand. Like you can do different like it offers you. Do you want to use their GPS, Google Maps, or Apple? Whichever one you want to do, they'll let you do it.
Okay.
And of course, the GPS doesn't know the back ways like I did, and I had some drop offs. I think I dropped off to a couple Spirit bus drivers because I remembered the houses. And it was like I took all the back routes and like alleyways to get to these people's houses. And I bet they were watching their map and they're like, where the heck is this guy going? But it was like estimated delivery was like say 8:00 and I got there like 5 minutes early.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple people I know that do it, and I know Sierra wants to do it or wanted to do it, but the only thing like I don't mind doing it with I'd want to do it with Sierra. I don't want her to go out.
Yeah.
So that makes
that's
sense.
the only
I agree.
What Kimberly wants to ride. The first night I did it, Kimberly was nice enough to ride with me, and I like it when because sometimes you if you've ordered DoorDash, you've ran into it before. They send you 2 or 3 dashes at once. Like we have a place here in town called Hot Head Burrito. It's basically Chipotle but better. I was there picking up an order and they sent me another one. So it's nice to have that other person to kind of keep track of orders and stuff. And also, like the time I was sitting there in the Meijer parking lot for 20 minutes because I had nothing to do, it would have been nice to have somebody sit there and talk to me.
Yeah.
Welcome to my life, big pansy. You can't sit there by yourself.
Yeah, but like we can't go together and then take Graceland. Like that'd just be
Well, I'm just saying I had somebody do DoorDash me one time, and she had her 2 daughters with me, and they handed me our food, and they were having the time of their life, and it was
Yeah, Josie goes with Shelly a lot.
maybe she was a little bit older, but
Yeah.
they're using the kids for like tipping and stuff. Like, hey,
Oh no, so they don't. You can't. You once you put in your tip on DoorDash,
yeah,
it's kind of locked in. You can always add tip, but
yeah,
I actually had that happen. I delivered their food early and they gave me an extra $2 tip after the fact.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
let's be
Yeah.
honest, most people aren't going to do that.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, it's something to look into. Like I said, I need money. Like,
I'm not going to do like the what's it called? Uber or Lyft or any of that stuff. I don't want people in my car. Like I have
no,
enough trust issues when it's dark out walking up to somebody's front porch.
I mean, if I should, I should start doing it because now that I'm writing again, if I want to go spend a week down at Indianapolis,
There you go.
I would
Go work a
have,
couple hours and you'll have some
I'd have
spending money.
I'd have hotel and dinner money.
There are two different ways to get paid. They have now. I've watched a few videos. Like this is the only reason I know all this crap is because I've watched like 3 or 4 videos to know what I'm getting into. Um, they have 2 ways to get paid. You can get paid daily, like after each day they put it onto your card, but that's a card they give you and they control. I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like the idea.
Yeah.
just send me a check. I don't need money. I've got
They don't
money.
send
You
you
know
a
what I mean?
check. They'll direct deposit it to your account.
That's what I need.
But
That's
it's
what
weekly on Mondays, which is
I don't
nice
care.
actually. I
That'll
like
work
getting
for
paid
me.
on Mondays. My first check comes in next week though, Monday.
Oh, well, that's cool though. Well, no, Monday's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I don't care when I get paid as long as I get paid.
right?
But
Good
no,
for
I'm
you.
using
I'm
this
gonna
like
start doing it myself.
as I said last week, we're going to Disney, so I'm using this money to kind of save up, some spending money for Disney.
yeah.
Definitely.
Um,
The money you've made already would buy you a T-shirt
I
and maybe a
I'm
Coke.
I'm saying it now. I'll brief you guys after the fact, but I'm saying it now. I don't plan on buying much, if anything, like merchandise wise while I'm there for myself.
You're gonna buy a lightsaber. Did you do the
I already
lightsaber
bought a
thing?
lightsaber last time I was there. I don't need
Oh,
another
that's
one.
right. You don't need another one then. Okay.
I got a droid too, so I don't need a droid. So I'm
Oh, that's.
good on that fact.
Oh well, there
Now,
you're there on that.
now,
They might
if
have a
there
cool
is
shirt.
if there's a cool shirt, I can't say no to a cool shirt. Like that is my weakness when I go places. I went to the Pacers game and spent $20 on a shirt because it was cool.
That's not bad for a shirt.
That's
at
not
a
bad
sporting
though.
event.
No,
it
it
the
was their
sales
like
shirt?
there's like their
Their game
shirt,
shirt.
their game shirt or whatever. Like their
I like that.
you know how
stuff. They
like
have
every
good stuff on
every
that.
game they have like their merchandise of the game or whatever. It was the
Right.
shirt,
Yeah.
and I really
You
liked
get-
it. It was they were trying to get rid of all their City Series shirts or like the mid-season tournament shirts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Um, no, but like if I see some, if they got a nice like Star Wars Funko Pop, my collection it's growing. It'll make a fine addition to my collection. But yeah. Oh, I wanted to bring up because they keep announcing people. I want to go through we all know how we've been shitting on Indie Comic Con before about how they don't have anybody. Well, let's go through the stinking list since we, said they don't have anybody. They have Tom Cavanaugh, who is the Reverse Flash in the Flash series. He also plays a few other things, but that's what he's known for. Chris Sarandon, who is in the Nights Before Christmas or Nightmare Before Christmas and Princess Bride. They have Danielle
Sarandon.
Say again?
Chris Sarandon.
Whatever, I can't say his name. They have Danielle Panabaker.
Baker. Yeah.
Who's from the Flash. Yep. They have John Reese Davis from the Lord of the, Gimli, or what's his face, Indiana Jones. Yeah. They had they have Edward James Olmos, who plays Admiral Adama from Battlestar.
How do I get through to these kids?
Get out of here. Timothy Amundunzo. He looks really familiar. His big thing is Psych. I don't know what else he is from.
Psych has a big following now.
I know this is like a big Psych year too, because they have Maggie Lawson also. Felicia Day is just like the queen of the nerds.
She's done Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
The Netflix version.
She
Yeah,
made
she's on it.
her big breakout was she did like a YouTube series, and that was her big thing. And that's how she got big. Tom Wellings, we've talked about already. Will Wheaton, Debbie Dunning from Home Improvement, Anthony Daniels, Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Is going to be there, and I hope everybody just says to him the shitter's full.
They should put him next to George Takei.
Why?
Because they're like
opposites,
politically opposite.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Randy Quaid is very much conspiracy theories, anti everything, and George Takei
is
very
he
much
really his
following the
character
leader.
from Christmas Vacation?
Independence
Is he really
Day.
okay? He is his character from Independence Day.
Yeah, I believe he's turned into him. Yeah, but I don't blame him. Plus, he was Randy Weaver in the movie about what was it, that Ruby Ridge?
Yeah, he wasn't he?
But we all know the just went in there and shot people.
John Schneider, Lee Majors, Lindsay Wagner, Richard Karn from Home Improvement. Jodie Benson's gonna be there, Little Mermaid herself, and Barbie from Toy Story 3.
Yeah. So.
Greg Baldwin.
Actually, it turned into a good lineup.
Yeah, it really did. Greg Baldwin is a really good voice actor. He took over for there was a voice actor. He played Uncle Iroh in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it was the last thing he did. And he is like everybody's grandpa or uncle, and he took over and did a great job taking over for him after he died from cancer. They have Vanessa Marshall, who is in Star Wars. She's a Star Wars voice actress. Xandis Mobus, another voice actor. Spencer Grammer, voice actress. Alejandro.
Now you're just listing people we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, it's a bunch of voice actors. Ken Page, isn't he kind of well known? Ken Page. He plays Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas.
I don't know. I saw that movie.
He played a big role in Cats, the musical, too.
Yeah, I didn't see that either, Chris. So he must be big if he's at a Comic-Con. That's all. I mean, he's bigger than me. So.
It turned into a good, I don't say great, but a good lineup. And they don't have everybody on here because they announced some more people. Takei is going to be there.
Yeah,
there's somebody else. One moment. I'm going to pull up their Facebook where I saw it.
I'm just wondering what kind of panels they might have.
I'm kind of excited about the panels. I was thinking the same thing. What kind of panels are they going to have with that lineup?
Oh, yeah. So George Takei from Star Trek. They have Todd Stashwick now, who was his big breakout, to my knowledge, was he played in season 3 of Star Trek Picard. He was a captain.
Okay.
And Star Trek fans fell in love with him. And then Colby Menifee, who's got her fame from The Boys.
We don't know who that is either.
The Boys. She's the head of you'd recognize her. I can't. What's the bad company in The Boys? The bad guys. That makes a chemical.
Homelander and all them. Like she's
like the public. She's like the public. The face of the company.
Oh, okay.
And then Gray Delsey, who's a OG voice actress. She plays why am my brain is just not connected to my mouth?
Well, that's okay. Like 90% of these people we've never heard of, Chris. So.
Well, you've never heard of. People like me have.
He ain't even gonna go. So what's it?
I'm upset because they have all these people that I would actually like to meet now.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Oh, well, I'm gonna meet him for you.
No, you're not. You're not
Pay
even
me.
going to go. Let's be
Give
honest.
me money. I do want to go, especially I don't with those kind of with that lineup. I'm kind of anxious to see what the panels are gonna be.
they should do they might do a Smallville one or something like
They
that.
did. They are. They've already announced a picture
Oh.
package with all of them.
No,
Okay.
panel like a panel like a
No,
Q&A panel.
they'll do one. If they have a group there, they always do it at least.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say always, but they usually do.
I don't know. It's $50
Right.
plus food, beverage, and parking. So
Gas.
we'll see. Yeah, gas. I don't know. It depends. I'll see. We'll see as it gets closer.
Yeah, Tom Welling would be cool to see. Meet Tom Welling, Daniel Panabaker. Yeah.
Giddy up.
Anybody? Anything else anybody wants to bring up?
Yeah, I can knock out my Knotbusters this week. I have 3 of them. They're real quick because they're all basically the same movie. We're going to start with the 1972 Misty Road classic, The Hitchhikers. Did I talk about this last week?
I think you did. The Hitchhikers.
Well, the girl gets pregnant, and so this girl at the beginning of the movie she gets pregnant, and then she steals money from. I'm guessing it was weird. It starts off weird. So she gets pregnant by her boyfriend, and she calls him and tells him she gets pregnant, and she likes I want to get married, and he laughs at her. So she decides to run away. So I guess she goes into her parents' bedroom early in the morning, steals money off of a table, which I'm guessing is her dad's money, and then hangs her bra over a picture of herself, which I didn't get that. And she runs away, and she doesn't have any shoes on. And she gets raped by some creepy guy in a van, and then she joins up with a bunch of hippies, and the hippies rob people. And every time that they and like the whole music, the whole movie, it's harmonica music and banjos. So if they go rob somebody, so that was the Hitchhikers. It's pretty bad. It's like really, really bad. It's from 1972. Maggie learns she's pregnant, so she runs away from home. Before long, she gets involved with some other girls on their own who have found a way of supporting themselves. She joins them in hitchhiking around wearing sexy outfits and robbing the men who pick them up from the road. It's that bad. All of these are on some kind of streaming network, Plex, Tubi, Roku. Um, it was kind of entertaining, but not really. Then I moved on to Big Bad Mama. Now, Big Bad Mama has a lot of people in it. It came out in 1974. Circumstances force a tough single mother and her 2 daughters into a life of crime as they quickly become outlaws on the run, picking up partners along the way and traveling to different states pursued by the law. So Big Bad Mama has Angie Dickinson in it, right? Again, Pluto, Plex, and Freebie this movie's on. Angie Dickinson, who was a policewoman in the 70s, she's in it. Tom Skerritt, who we know is from Top Gun, right? He's the Top Gun instructor. Who was he? Not Viper. He was the other one, wasn't he? And then Noble Willingham is in it. Also, William Shatner is in this movie.
The William Shatner.
Now this gets creepy. So Angie Dickinson they're in a bank and they're trying to rob a bank. Her and her 2 stupid daughters, and they meet up with Tom Skerritt, who's already a bank robber too, and they all get together. So Mama, Big Bad Mama, bangs Tom Skerritt for a while. That's your boyfriend, right? Until she meets William Shatner. Then she starts banging William Shatner. Well, because she's in with the bank robberies with Tom Skerritt's character, whose name is Fred Diller, Fred Diller starts banging her daughters. So she's banging William Shatner while he's banging both of her daughters. And he gets one of their daughters pregnant.
It is.
Let's go Shatner.
No, it wasn't Shatner. It was Tom
Oh,
Skerritt.
my bad.
Shatner is with Big Bad Mama. And while they get
How
chased
old
by
is this
police,
movie?
1974.
Okay.
While they get chased by police, it is a banjo jam session with the I mean, like legit. It grossed $617,000 at the box office.
That's
That's
it?
pretty good.
Well, in 1974, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Then I watched another horrible movie called The Girls from Thunder Strip. A vicious gang of murderous bikers go up against a trio of beautiful bootlegging sisters.
It's like Three
Came out
Ninjas, but crappier.
It's so the girls are moonshiners, I guess, is how I understood it. Oh, I gotta tell you this. This is awful. So, how the movie starts out, there's this woman walk. It's got really bad dialogue, and this woman's walking along the road, and this biker stops and, well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just walking. He's like, where are you walking? Oh, I don't know. I'm just walking down the road. So he gives her a ride, and they stop in these woods, right? And he goes, she's like, what are we stopping for? He says, she says, what are we stopping for? And he says, well, we're going to have a picnic. And she says, well, we don't have any food. And he goes, you're the meal, honey, and throws her down and like tries to start to rape her. Right?
You're the meal. That's what he's.
That's the meal, yeah. So she's screaming, no, stop, don't. And he's trying to rape her. And then, meanwhile, they kick the music in. Like it's upbeat banjo music. So the feds are in on it with the police, and one of the feds is Casey Kasem. No lie, be Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem of America's Top 40.
And Shaggy from Scooby-Doo cartoons. and Batman, I think, or Robin from the Super Friends. So, from what I understood, they arrest the bootleggers and put them in jail. And already in jail are the bikers because the bikers stabbed a woman and left her for dead. And the cops show up and they make this girl's laying. She's been stabbed in the stomach, laying on the ground. And the sheriff tells this other woman, just stay here until I can get an ambulance to come here. And he takes off with the bikers and takes them off to jail. They all escape from prison and like wacky hijinks ensues. It's quite a terrible movie.
Which was the best one out of all of them?
Big Bad Mama actually was good. I enjoyed it. They're all disturbing.
Yeah.
I could watch Big Bad Mama again. They're all on Freebie, Tubi. But Jack Starrett is the sheriff. He was also he was the old prospect miner in Blazing Saddles.
Uh-huh.
You know, when they say the sheriff is a thing, that's the guy.
Really?
Yes, he's that
Rivalry.
Yeah, Gabby Johnson. And he was also Galt in First Blood. You ever see First Blood with Sylvester Stallone? He plays a cop in First Blood, and he falls out of a helicopter, and they blame John Rambo for it. So Jack Starrett's in that as well. So it's got a little bit of a cast. It's a horrible movie.
Horrible movie, but got a cast.
Well, I mean, it's got, like I said, Casey Kasem and Jack Starrett. And Jack Starrett was in a lot of those kind of movies. These are all grindhouse. I guess they call grindhouse films. Like the cuts are so bad. Well, you know, it's like that cheesy, like there's all kinds of static and lines through the movie, and then it pops and cracks. So one cut, this car's driving, and it takes a left-hand turn, and like the movie pops, and the next thing you know, the car is all the way down the road. Like if they cut it there, they did a horrible job. But there's all kinds of them. I've stumbled upon these movies on IMDb. The Female Bunch, Hot Summer in Barefoot County, Trucker's Woman, Swamp Girl, Savage Sisters. So we got quite a bit of these to go through. I'm going to try and knock out one of these once a week. I just found it funny that all of them had happy banjo music during the worst times. Like nobody wants to hear happy banjo music when they're trying to sexually assault women.
I don't know. It's like a bop, I guess.
So yeah, it is, right? It's like dueling banjo. So those are my 3 not busters. The girls from Thunderstrip, whatever that other one was, and Big Bad Mama. And then I also went to the movies and saw The Iron Claw with my.
I can't
my
wait to
male.
watch.
It's really good. It's based on a true story. It's got my favorite.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast that went over the whole timeline of that. So I'm like, I know a little bit more about it than just watching the movie. Like I know a little bit of background stuff. But
I know the background of it. I know the story, and I could see they changed some stuff around, which it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm like, that's not where he does that, But yeah, it's tragic. I mean, so
What?
this is based on the movie's based on 4 Von Erichs, right? And in real life, there were 5 Von Erich brothers. Okay.
I got a
I'm
question.
sorry,
Why do they change things like that? Like
There were
where
3
certain
Von
things
Erichs.
happened, or
There were 3 Von Erich brothers in this. No, there's 4 in this movie. There's 5 in real life. So because they said that it had to do with time and everything, but so they had a brother that was sick and died, or something like that when he was a kid, and they slowly started offing themselves. Well, no, David Von Erich died of he died in Japan. He was touring in Japan as a wrestler, and he died. They said during like a intestinal bleed or something like that. It was something that had to do with that. Carrie Von Erich, I remember. No, there was another Von Erich, and he shot. Yeah, Mike Von Erich. He shot himself. Or no. Mike Von Erich. I'm sorry, Mike Von Erich overdosed on drugs. Is what he did on purpose. He left a suicide note and he overdosed. Carrie Von Erich shot himself. And then the Von Erich that they did not talk about also shot himself. So out of the 5 brothers, 3 committed suicide. And there's 1 Von Erich left, which is Kevin Von Erich. So it's a sad movie. It's freaking awesome, though. I highly recommend it, and not just because I'm a Zac Efron fan. Jeremy Allen White's in it. He plays Lip from Shameless. He was Lip in Shameless, and he's in The Bear, which just won an Emmy. So go check it out, or not. It doesn't matter. Watch it.
The choice is yours.
Yes.
On
That's
that
all I got.
note, thank you for listening to another episode of Who's Your Nerds podcast.
You don't even know who we are.
oh my
I know
gosh.
who we are. I was doing it for a dramatic effect. You got Mikey and the 2 Chris's. You can catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter. Who's Your Nerds on Facebook. I'm on Twitter again if you didn't know. I'm back. You can watch and listen to us on YouTube, and you can catch us at your favorite podcasting sites. I almost said Netflix.
On Netflix. We're on Netflix, guys. Big
We
announcement.
made it. No, but you can catch us at iTunes, TuneIn, Spotify, and Amazon.
And she never.
Who's Your Nerds?